Hey everybody, Kristen Brown here. I want to talk to you guys today about a question that was posed to me by one of my group members. And that question was, why is it that some men are resistant to saying, I love you? And is this something that she needs to be concerned about? Well, there's a lot of people out there in the world that don't say I love you. This is not just gender specific. It's not just men. I know women who have met a man and he says I love you and they say thank you. But the one person that I'm thinking of ended up marrying that man, and they've been together for many, many years. So it's not just a gender-specific thing. It is a human thing, and it happens for many reasons. So I want to list those reasons for you guys right now. One of the first reasons is that he associates something negative with the words I love you. What that could mean is that he feels like there's going to be certain expectations placed on him after he says the words I love you. Maybe that means that he's going to be forced to take the relationship to the next level, meaning marriage or moving in or something he's not comfortable with yet or not ready for. It could also mean that in the past that other women had used the words I love you against him. Let's say a woman wants to travel the world. She says, I want you to take me traveling the world. And he says, hey, I really can't do that right now. My job's demanding, or I don't have the money, or we got the kids, or something going on that he feels like that can't happen. And she says, you said you loved me. If you really loved me, you would do this for me. So do you see what I'm saying? If it's been used against a man in the past, likely he has a negative association. He's been trained that those words mean something that he's not yet ready for, or it's going to turn into something that he's not yet ready for. There might be more required from him than he is ready to give in that relationship. The second thing could be that he hasn't been taught to express his emotions that way. We got to be honest with ourselves. All families conduct themselves as little tiny mini microcultures within a bigger culture. So I know in my family, we're very expressive. We hug a lot and we kiss each other on the cheek and we say we love you to each other. I'm talking about my family of origin, where I was raised. Not my current family is the same way too, my kids and my husband and stuff. But I was taught that. So it's very, very normal and natural to me, but that is not always the case. People are not raised that way, and not all people are raised that way. And it's neither right or wrong. I don't want to stipulate that. What I'm trying to say is that we have to be open to the fact if this is not somebody's norm, it might be difficult for them. The third reason could be that they just don't feel it yet. Sometimes they're just not there yet. They could be uber fond of you. They might think you are the bee's knees, but there's something, they haven't crossed the bridge yet for whatever reason. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing always. It just means they're just not there yet. Some people are slower to fall in love than other people. Some people fall in love hard and fast. Some people are slower to brew and percolate. So it could be that he's just not there yet. The fourth reason could be that they don't feel the words mean as much as action, which means there are people that would rather show you that they love you rather than tell you that they love you. By now, most of us have heard of the 5 love languages by Gary Chapman. And in that, he talks about different ways that people express love. Well, if your person is not a words of affirmation person, they're not somebody that's like, oh, you're so great, you're so lovely, you're so wonderful, you're so sweet, you're so kind, I love you, I love you, I love you. They might be somebody who washes your car for you, picks up the kids for you, does little chores for you, whatever it might be. It could be anything but saying the words I love you, spend quality time with you, give you gifts. But the words don't mean much to them. They feel like the action speaks louder. So if you have somebody like that, then that could be one of the reasons why they're not saying I love you at this point. And the fifth reason could be as they're commitment shy. They're afraid of being all in. Maybe they do feel like they love you. Maybe they do feel like they're in love with you, but they've been hurt in the past. There could be something that happened in their past that is scaring them. And I want to blanket all of this with saying the fear word. Just imagine some big graphic here that says fear. Fear will hold us back from things in a big way. And in order for us to help our person move forward with this, first what we need to do is we need to decide whether we want to stay with this and we want to work with this. I tell the women in my group often that we can attract a great guy that treats us amazing, but he's going to have things. We all have things because we're not perfect. So if your guy is treating you in a beautiful way, he is making you a priority, he's respectful, he's kind, he shows up, he's consistent, he's attentive, then you have a good man. But he might have this little piece. He's human. He has his stuff, just like we all do. We're not going to attract a perfect individual. So we have to ask ourselves, can I live with the fact that this person might not say, I love you very often or even at all? In my humble opinion, chances are this person will over time. But it's going to take you helping out a little bit to help them to get to that place. So first we need to find out what this means for us. Am I okay with this? Is this something I can live with? If it's not, that's okay. There's no right or wrong answer here. You just need to cut your losses and move on. If it's something that you deeply, deeply require in your relationship, that doesn't make you bad or wrong. It just means that maybe this person isn't for you. But if it's something that you're like, I can kind of work with this, then you might be willing to work with this, and that's awesome. So there's 3 things that I want to encourage you to do if you have a person who is not saying I love you. Now, first thing I'm going to ask you is that, have you said it to him? Because we just can't require somebody to do something that we are not willing to do ourselves, all right? If we're just sitting there waiting and pointing at them saying, this is your job, it's not their job. It's our job too. We need to be willing to be honest and express our feelings, and oftentimes it's our vulnerability that helps a guarded heart open. However, I saw this one place that I was reading something about something where the person said, well, he doesn't say it to me, so I'm going to stop saying it. Well, there's lots of dynamics that could be in their relationship, but let's say this is a good guy and she just stopped saying it. Well, guess what? She may have just taken the one thing away that might promote him to say it. So the number one thing is to be authentically you. Be you. Love the way you love, because guess what? Your man needs to feel that too. All right? We don't want to muddy the waters by now retracting things and taking things away from him because we feel like we're not getting it from him. That's ego or fear hitting fear, and that never does anything. It's like 2 rams bucking each other. The second thing is to be very open about it. Be honest, be vulnerable, ask questions. What's going on here? This is a little odd to me. This is what I'm not used to. I am open to hearing what you have to say. And then guess what you do, ladies? You listen. Or men, if men are listening to this, you listen with an open heart. What is your partner telling you? What are their fears? What does it mean to them? And your open heart is going to say red flag, or it's going to say, I understand. I have compassion for this. Because I can't tell you the dynamics of your situation. That's for you to figure out, because you are your own authority. The third thing that's super duper important is don't try to force it, and don't have an agenda for him. When you force your agenda on your partner, you are taking away their personal freedom. And when someone's already scared and you are forcing them to do something, guess what they're going to do? They're going to pull back, because you are not creating a safe environment for them. So we want to be honest. We want to be authentic self. We want to say it if we feel it. We want to be who we are. And our vulnerability, knowing our vulnerability can open our partner up as well. We want to talk about it. We want to be open in our communication with them. We want to tell them that we would like to hear this, or if they're feeling it, but they're not saying it, why? What's going on inside of you and inside of them? And we want to have an open heart in this, because we want to be able to recognize whether there's just a red flag here going on, or if this person really just needs some compassion and understanding and our help to guide them and lead them through this and to create a safe space for them. Now, I have to always disclaim, creating a safe space does not mean we put up with disrespect or crap from our partner. It means that if everything is going well, then we hold a loving space while we were communicating and while we're talking to this person. And the third thing, again, reiterating, don't force your agenda on your person. If you're forcing your agenda, you are scaring them even further. People, one of our core values that we don't even know about, is just deeply ingrained in us, is freedom. And if we don't have the freedom to be who we are, and we're not accepted who we are, then that might staunch our chances of really falling in love or being able to say that we're in love with this person, because they're taking away something that is in the essence of our soul, which is personal freedom. Keep in mind that if your person is not saying I love you because it's rooted in fear, what is happening is that they're in their amygdala. They're in their, sorry, my nose is itching. They're in their fight, flight, or freeze stage. And that is something that they need to work through, because that is a triggered response in them that is going to require some patience and some understanding. Your unconditional love, your consistency, your patience, and your willingness to accept them as they are. If you have a great partner, and this is the one thing that's missing, you must ask yourself, is this worth it to me? Are his or her actions speaking louder than the words that I'm dying to hear? I would also like to express that you need to look inside yourself and ask yourself, why is it that I need to hear this? What am I going to gain from this? Why am I banking everything on this? Just ask yourself a lot of deep questions. What do I need this for? What is this going to mean? How are things going to change for me? Go inside, figure out what's going on for you. The only thing that cures fear is love. And it's love of you, meaning you don't put up with other people's bad behavior, and it's the love of somebody else. It's being able to love them through their fears. Unfortunately, this is not something there's a blanket answer for. This is about you being honest with you about what you're seeing and what you're needing, and being open-hearted enough to recognize either red flags or just a space that you need to hold for somebody while they work through their own stuff. I hope you guys found this video really informative today, and that you listen to it with open eyes, open ears, open heart, open spirit. And if you are someone who's struggling with this with a person right now in your life, start the video over again, listen to it, take notes. Start integrating things that ring true for you, so that you can find the best forward movement, the best path forward for you. I super hope that you guys hit the subscribe button and you ring the little bell so that you get notifications when I upload. And be sure to share it. Also, I love your comments below. They give me ideas for future episodes, and I will answer you back personally myself. All right, guys, much love. Stay well, stay safe, and remember, you matter.